I am S.V. Gupta, and today I am going to take lecture on vapor compression refrigeration system. Okay, in today's lecture I will cover number 1, vapor compression refrigeration system, that is VCRS. Number 2, ideal vapor compression refrigeration system. Number 3, thermal analysis of ideal VCRS, that is vapor compression refrigeration system. Number 4, different vapor compression refrigeration systems. Next one is effect of operating variables on VCRS and application of VCRS. Let us move one by one. Number 1 is vapor compression refrigeration system. Basically, we can say it, the vapor compression refrigeration system is improved type of air refrigeration system. In vapor compression refrigeration system, we are using a working medium called refrigerant for the production of refrigeration effect. In case of the VCRS, that is vapor compression refrigeration system, by the phase change process of refrigerant from liquid to vapor, which is happen in the evaporator, and from vapor to liquid, which is happen in the condenser, the refrigeration effect are produced. In that case, the latent heat of vaporization of refrigerant is basically utilized for the production of refrigeration effect. Clear? This is the diagram for the VCRS. Basically, VCRS is divided into two pressure region. That region is said to be the high pressure region, and this region is said to be the low pressure region. The high pressure region is said to be the condenser pressure, and the low pressure is said to be the evaporator pressure. Clear? The vapor compression refrigeration system basically has the 4 parts. First one is evaporator, second one is compressor, third one is condenser, and fourth one is expansion device. The refrigerant in the evaporator is basically absorb the heat from the space where we have to produce the cooling effect, and the condenser is basically reject that heat from refrigerant to the environment, and then the cycle is repeated. Okay, I am repeating again. In the evaporator, the refrigerant absorb the heat from the refrigerated space where we have to produce the cooled, and in condenser the heat is rejected from the refrigerant to the surrounding. Clear? This is the vapor compressor refrigeration system. Okay. Basically, the latent heat of vaporization is basically utilized for the removing heat from the refrigerator at low temperature, which is afterward rejected to atmosphere at a high temperature by the expense of some external work. Next one is the ideal VCRS, that is ideal or simple vapor compression refrigeration system. This is basically the vapor compression refrigeration system. Clear? In case of ideal VCRS, the condenser and evaporator both are ideal. That means at the exit of the condenser, the state of refrigerant is saturated liquid, and at the exit, at the outlet of evaporator, the state of refrigerant is saturated vapor. This is necessary for the ideal case. The ideal VCRS basically have the four main part. First one is what? Evaporator. Second one is what? Compressor. Third one is condenser. And fourth one is what? Expansion valve. The ideal VCRS cycle is basically completed by the help of four processes. First process is said to be the process 1-2, which is happen in the compressor, and that is said to be the isentropic compression process. Clear? Next one is the process 2-3, which is happen in the condenser, and during this process there is the loss of heat. There will be the rejection of heat from refrigerant to the environment, and that process is basically happen at constant pressure. That is why the process 2-3 is isobaric heat rejection process. Next one is the process 3-4, which is happen in the expansion valve, where throttling process takes place. During this process, the enthalpy remains constant. Therefore, the process 3-4 is isenthalpic process. Clear? And during this process, the enthalpy remains same. That means the H1 is H3 is equal to H4. And the next one is process 4-1, which is happen in the evaporator, and during this process at constant pressure there is the absorption of heat from refrigerated space to the refrigerant. Clear? And therefore this is the 4-1 is the isobaric heat addition process. Clear? Due to absorption of heat from the refrigerated space, the refrigerant is convert from liquid to the vapor in the evaporator and produce the refrigeration effect. Clear? Next one is pH diagram for ideal VCRS. This will be the pH diagram. That will said to be the pressure axis. This is said to be the enthalpy axis. This is the dome. Okay, we all know this line is said to be the saturated liquid line, and this line is said to be the saturated vapor line. This region is basically said to be the wet region. This region is said to be the superheated region, and region between saturated liquid line and saturated vapor line, that is said to be the wet region. In this region, that is the refrigerant is the mixture of liquid refrigerant and vapor refrigerant. Clear? The process 1-2 is basically happen in the compressor, and that process is said to be the isentropic compression. During this process, entropy remains constant. Okay, and during this process we have to give work input to the system. This is shown by the process this 1 and this 2. Clear? And here process 1 and 2. Clear? Next one is the process 2 and 3. Basically this line is basically said to be the high pressure line, which is said to be the condenser pressure, already explained. And this is the low pressure line, which is said to be the evaporator pressure, already explained. I already explained. Clear? That means because process 2 3 is a heat rejection process at constant pressure, therefore the process 2 3, that line is isobaric line, and during this process there is the loss of heat, there is the rejection of heat from refrigerant in condenser to the surrounding, and due to heat rejection the refrigerant at vapor from 2 is converted into saturated liquid at 3. Clear? During this process the refrigerant convert from vapor to the saturated liquid state. Clear? Next one is the process 3-4. Process 3-4 is basically happen in the expansion valve, where throttling processes happen. Okay, and during this process the enthalpy remains constant. That is why the process 3-4 is said to be the isenthalpic process. Therefore the enthalpy at 3 is equal to enthalpy at 4. Clear? For the ideal VCRS, I am explain the evaporator and condenser both should be ideal. That means at the outlet of the evaporator the state of refrigerant saturated vapor. That means the outlet point 1 should be lie on the saturated vapor line, and the outlet of condenser should be in the saturated liquid. That means at the outlet of the condenser the state of refrigerant should be saturated liquid. That means the point 3 should be lie on the saturated liquid line. Clear? That is very important for the ideal VCRS. The point 1 should be on the saturated vapor line, and the point 3 should be on the saturated liquid line. The process 4-1 is basically happen in the evaporator, where the refrigerant in the evaporator absorb the heat from the space where we have to produce the cooling. Clear? And due to absorption of that heat, the refrigerant is converted into liquid to vapor, and during this process there will be the production of refrigeration effect. That means the refrigeration effect is produced during process 4 and 1. Clear? This is the TS diagram for ideal VCRS. We can see here for ideal VCRS the point 1 should be on the saturated vapor line, and the point 3 should be on the saturated liquid line. Clear? The process 3-4 is the compression process, isentropic. Entropy remains same. We can see here during this process the entropy at 1 is equal to entropy at 2. The process 2-3, this is the constant pressure line. During this process 2-3 there is the conversion of vapor refrigerant to the saturated liquid refrigerant by the loss of heat, by the rejection of heat from refrigerant to the environment. The process 3-4 is basically said to be the isenthalpic process, and the process 4 and 1, this will be happen in the evaporator. During this process, by the absorption of heat from the cold space, the refrigerant is converted into liquid to the saturated vapor, and during this process there is the production of refrigeration effect. Clear? That means the refrigeration effect is produced during process 4 and 1, and that is in the evaporator. So in the refrigeration effect is always produced in the evaporator. Remember it. Clear? Next one is the thermal analysis of ideal VCRS. If you talk about the thermal analysis of ideal VCRS, this is the pH diagram for the ideal VCRS. Why it is ideal? That means 0.3 is at a saturated liquid line and 0.1 is at a saturated vapor line. That pressure is constant pressure, and that is said to be the condenser pressure, high pressure, and this is said to be the low pressure, that is said to be the evaporator pressure. Clear? Let us assume 1 kg of refrigerant flow in the system. That means in the system 1 kg of refrigerant is flowing. Clear? In that case, first we have to calculate the compressor work. Clear? The compression work is happened during process 1, 2. Clear? And this will be equal to H2 minus H1 multiplied by mass. Because mass is equal to 1, therefore the compression work WC is equal to H2 minus H1 kilojoule per kg. Why it is per kg? Because M is equal to 1 kg. That is why that is the work for the 1 kg of refrigerant. Next one is the heat rejection at the condenser QC, and it is happened during the process of 2 and 3. That will be the condensation process 2 and 3. During this process there will be the loss of the heat, there will be the rejection of heat from refrigerant to the environment. Clear? And therefore that will be equal to H2 minus H3 kilojoule per kg. Why it is kilojoule per kg? Per kg means it is for the 1 kg of refrigerant. Clear? Next is the expansion device or expansion process. This is very important. During this process we have to calculate the dryness fraction at 0.4. Why it is because 0.4 is comes in the wet region, therefore first we have to calculate the dryness fraction at 0.4. Clear? Clear? Because expansion process is happening during process 3 and 4, and that will be during isenthalpic process 3 and 4. That means the expansion process is happen during isenthalpic process 3 and 4, and during this process the temperature as well as pressure both is decreases. That means during this process the temperature and the pressure of refrigerant is decreases. Because it is isenthalpic, therefore the enthalpy at 3 is equal to enthalpy at 4. This means the enthalpy at 3, this will be equal to enthalpy at 4. Clear? Because point 3 is on the saturated liquid line, then we all know that will be written as HF3. F tends to F, so the point is at the saturated liquid line. Clear? So HF is what? HF tends to the enthalpy of saturated liquid at which pressure? At a pressure of 3. At a pressure of 3. Therefore this is HF3. Clear? Therefore this can be written as H3 can be written as HF3. Okay? we have to understand what should be the value of H4, because at H4, let us suppose the dryness fraction is at X4. We have to assume, because we have to find the dryness fraction at point 4. Clear? Let us suppose the dryness fraction at 4, that will be X4, which is assume here. This is the X4. Clear? Clear? Therefore, if we draw the horizontal line, from here, let me draw. That means this is so the evaporator pressure PE, which intersect at that point. Clear? Which intersect at that point on the saturated liquid line. Okay, at that point the enthalpy can be denoted as HF. That means enthalpy of saturated liquid. But at which pressure? At a pressure of 0.4. Okay, at a pressure of 0.4. Clear? Clear? Therefore, if it is 4 dash, clear, then the enthalpy at 0.4. Therefore, with the help of dryness fraction, we can write the enthalpy at 0.4 is equal to enthalpy of saturated liquid at a pressure of 4. This gives the enthalpy at that point. Okay, which give the enthalpy at this point. Clear? And plus the enthalpy between this point and this point. It will be equal to X4 into HFG4. That is why the enthalpy at 4 is equal to what? HF4 plus X4 into HFG4. Therefore, we can calculate from here X4 is equal to HF3 minus HF4 divided by HFG4, and HFG4 is equal to HG4 minus HF4. That means dryness fraction X4 is equal to HF3 minus HF4 divided by HG4 minus HF4. Clear? Next one is the refrigeration effect. Basically, refrigeration effect is happen during process of 4 and 1. Clear? This is happen during process of 4 and 1. Therefore, this is happen during process of 4 and 1. Therefore, it is equal to H1 minus H4. It will be happen during process 4 and 1, and that will be equal to H1 minus H4 kilojoule per kg. Per kg is why? Because the mass is equal to 1 kg. This is the refrigeration effect for 1 kg of mass. If there are the 2 kg of mass, then we have to multiply it by 3. If there is the 3 kg of mass, then we have to multiply it by 3. This is the refrigeration effect only for the 1 kg of mass. That is why the unit is kilojoule per kg. Next one is the COP of the system. We all know COP of this refrigeration is equal to refrigeration effect divided by work input. Refrigeration effect is produced during the process of 4 and 1, and work input, that is the compression work, it is happened during process 1 and 2. Clear? Therefore, we have refrigeration effect, that is H1 minus H4 divided by work input, that is H2 minus H1. It will give the COP of the ideal VCRS. Clear? Next one is the compressor power. We all know power is equal to rate of work done. If mass flow rate is equal to m. If mass flow rate is equal to m, in that case Pc, power of compressor, is rate of work done. Therefore this will be equal to m multiplied by H2 minus H1. Why? Because we have to multiply H2 minus H1, that is the compression work, but we have to calculate the rate of work done, that is why we have to multiply it by mass flow rate, and that is equal to m. So let us assume the mass flow rate is equal to m. In that case the rate of work done is equal to m into H2 minus H1, kilojoule per second, and that is equal to kilowatt, where m is equal to mass flow rate of refrigerant in kg per second. Clear? Next one is the mass of refrigerant to be circulated per ton of refrigeration. Per ton of refrigeration means the capacity of the system is 1 ton. That means the refrigeration effect is equal to, and capacity of, that means capacity of the system is 1 ton, and we all know 1 ton is equal to 3.517 kilowatt, and this will be equal to, if the mass flow rate is equal to m, therefore that is equal to m into Re, because this Re is only for the 1 kg of mass. If there are the m mass, in that case we have to multiply it by mass in the refrigeration effect, and it will give the refrigeration effect for the mass m. Let us assume the m kg per second of mass required to produce refrigeration effect 1 Tr. Therefore 1 Tr is equal to 3.517, and that will equal to m into Re. Therefore m is equal to 3.517 divided by Re, where Re is equal to H1 minus H4 only. Remember it here, where Re is equal to H1 minus H4. It is for the 1 kg and it is for the m kg. Clear? It is, remember, Re is equal to H1 minus H4. Clear? Next is the relative COP. We all know what is the relative COP, that is the ratio of actual COP to the ideal COP. That means the COP of actual cycle with respect to the COP of ideal cycle, it gives the relative COP. Next one is the different vapor compression refrigeration system. Number 1, when after compression means the compression process is shown by the process 1 and 2. 1 is the before compression, 1 show the before compression point, and 2 show the after compression point. That means it show for the point 2. After compression means it say about the point 2, the condition of refrigerant is dry saturated. Dry saturated means that is the saturated vapor. Dry saturated means saturated vapor. That means point 2, so the point 2 should be on the saturated vapor line at a pressure of condenser. Clear? Therefore this is the TS diagram and this is the pH diagram. Clear? This is the enthalpy, pressure, and this will be the enthalpy. Point 2 after the compression, that means say about the point 2, that means the state of refrigerant at point 2 is dry saturated. That means saturated vapor. That means point 2 should be on the saturated vapor line. This is the saturated vapor line. Similarly, if you see in the TS diagram, the point 2 should be in the, this is the saturated vapor line, and point 2 should be on the saturated vapor line. Okay, then the process 1, 2 is isentropic. Then we have to draw the perpendicular line from the vertical line from the point 2. Then it will come in the wet region. That means the point 1 is in the wet region, and that means at a point 1 the refrigerant is the mixture of liquid and vapor refrigerant. In that case there is the wet compression takes place. Okay, and that is the disadvantage of the system. We always prefer the dry compression, because in the wet compression the refrigerant can wash the lubricant which is used in the compressor, and after that it mixes with the refrigerant and change the property of refrigerant. Okay, due to this the evaporation temperature as well as the condensation temperature both are changed. Clear? Number 2, due to liquid molecules, what is happen? There is the chance of corrosion in the metal part of the compressor or in the moving part of the compressor. Due to this the life of compressor is decreased. That is why in case of the refrigerator we are always prefer the dry compression to eliminate the disadvantage of wet compression. Clear? Next, number 2, case number 2, if the input of the compressor, input means inlet means at point 1, it say about the point 1. Okay, if the input of the compressor, that means point 1 is in superheated vapor, that means point 1 is lie in the superheated region, that means outside from the saturated vapor line. Clear? Then this will be the pH diagram. This is the pressure axis and this is the enthalpy axis. Clear? The point, see the input means it say about the point 1, that means point 1 is lie in the superheated region. That means we can see here this will be the saturated vapor line and this region is said to be the superheated region. Therefore the point 1 is in superheated region, and because 1 2 is the what? Isentropic process. Therefore the point 2 is always in the superheated region. Therefore here the dry compression takes place, and here the disadvantage of wet compressor is eliminated during this process. Clear? But during this case we have to, the heat rejection is increases. Okay, heat rejection is increases. Clear? This will be the TS diagram. The point 1 is in the superheated region, and we can see here because process 1 2 is isentropic, then point 2 is also in the superheated region, and here the dry compression takes place. Clear? And the rest are the same. Point 3 should be point 3 is on the saturated liquid line, because the question does not say anything about the point 3. Clear? Therefore we cannot change the point 3. Clear? Next, case number 3, if at the outlet of condenser is subcooled means outlet, the condensation process is happened during process 2 and 3. That means point 2 show the inlet of the condenser and point 3 show the outlet of the condenser. That means at the outlet, that means it say about the point 3. That means the point 3 is in what? Subcooled region. This is the pH diagram. This is the saturated liquid line, and this region is said to be the subcooled region. That means according to the case, the point 3 should be in that region. We can see here the point 3 is in the subcooled region. That means point 3 dash is the what? Saturated liquid, and 3 is in the subcooled liquid. That means point 3 is in the subcooled risen, and the rest 0.1 is remains at the saturated vapor line. Clear? Due to this process, the refrigeration effect is increases and work input is same. Therefore, the COP of the system is what? Increases, because COP is equal to refrigeration effect divided by work input. Refrigeration effect is increases, work input is remains same. Due to this, the COP of the system is increases. This is the TS diagram for the case number 3. Okay. Next is case number 4. At the outlet of the compressor. Outlet of the compressor means it say about the point 2. Outlet is the 2, and that is the superheated vapor. That means it is in the superheated region. That means the point 2 means at point 2 the refrigerant should be in the superheated, and that means the point 2 is lie in the superheated region. This is the pH diagram. This will be the point 2. Clear? And it is in the superheated region. Point 1 is on the saturated vapor line. Clear? And point 3 on the saturated liquid line. That means this cycle is the ideal or simple vapor compression cycle. Clear? That means this cycle is also said to be the ideal cycle or simple vapor compression cycle or dry compression cycle. Dry, why it is dry compression? Because here the dry compression takes place. Clear? Well, then this such a cycle is said to be the ideal theoretical cycle or simple vapor compression cycle or dry compression cycle. And the next one is, that is the 5th one, if outlet of compression is wet. Outlet of compression means point 2 so the outlet. That means if point 2 is in the wet region, that means the point 2 is in between saturated liquid line and saturated vapor line. Clear? At condenser pressure. Clear? Because this is the saturated vapor line, and sorry, this is saturated liquid line and this is saturated vapor line. We can see here the point 2 comes in between saturated liquid and saturated vapor line, and that is region is wet region. That means the point 2 comes in the wet region. Clear? We can see here. In that case, compression work is equal to H2 minus H1. We can calculate. We can calculate for all the cases. Refrigeration effect. This is happened during process 4 and 1. It is decreases with respect to the ideal cycle, because the length between 4 and 1 is decreases as compared with the ideal cycle. In ideal cycle, the point 1 is shift to the saturated vapor line. Due to this, the distance between 4 and 1 is decreased in case number 5 as compared to the ideal cycle. Clear? Refrigeration effect is H1 minus H4, and COP is equal to H1 minus H4 divided by H2 minus H1. That is, COP is equal to refrigeration effect divided by work input. Next one is effect of operating variables on VCRS, vapor compression system. Clear? Number 1, that is the case number 1, effect of change in suction pressure. If we change the suction pressure, this is the pH diagram. This is the, in that pH diagram, the cycle 1, 2, 3 and 4 so the ideal cycle which we have studied. Okay, But in that case, what we are doing, we are decreasing the suction pressure, and that is from PE to PE dash. Okay, suction pressure, that means evaporator pressure. Suction pressure is also said to be the evaporator pressure, okay, or inlet pressure of the compressor. Suction pressure, evaporator pressure, or inlet pressure of the compressor, both three, among three are the same. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are decreasing the suction pressure, in that case from PE to PE dash. Clear? Therefore the point 1 dash is shifted down, point 4 is also shifted down to the 4 dash. Therefore the process 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 and 4 dash, that is the process 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 and 4 dash, is basically cycle with the reduction of suction pressure. Okay, clear? From the pH diagram we can see, before decreasing the suction pressure, the work input, that will be H2 minus H1, and after changing the suction pressure or decreasing the suction pressure or reducing the suction pressure, the compressor work is H2 dash minus H1 dash. Clear? Then we can see here from the diagram, the work input is increases, and that is equal to H2 dash minus H1 dash minus H2 minus H1. Initially it is H2 minus H1, and after change the suction pressure it is H2 dash minus H1 dash. Due to change the suction pressure, due to decrease the suction pressure, reduction in the suction pressure, the work input is increases, and that is equal to H2 dash minus H1 dash minus H2 minus H1. Clear? That means work input is increases due to reduction in suction pressure. Next, yes, the heat rejection is also increases from H2 minus H3 to H2 dash minus H3, and that will be equal to H2 dash minus H3. Then that is the amount of, this will be the amount of enthalpy or heat heat rejection is increases, and that will be equal to H2 dash minus H1 dash. And due to increase the heat rejection, we have to increase the size of condenser. Okay, if we talk about the evaporation process, so, in the evaporator, the refrigeration effect is decreases from how much? H1 minus H4 minus H1 dash minus H4 dash, because H4 is equal to H4 dash, and due to this will be equal to H1 minus H1 dash. Clear? Therefore we conclude from here, the work done is increases, and it is how much amount? That will be equal to H2 dash minus H1 dash minus H2 minus H1. Clear? And due to increase the work done, the power required is also increases. Why it is? Because power is equal to rate of work done. Clear? Next one is the refrigeration effect is decreases. Due to decrease the refrigeration effect, what we have to do for per ton of refrigeration? We have to increase the mass flow rate. Clear? Therefore, the some clear. Therefore, because the work done is increases, refrigeration effect is what? Decreases. Then COP is what? Decreases. Then therefore the COP of the system will decreases. Why it is? Because COP is the ratio of refrigeration effect to the work input. Clear? Next one is effect of change of discharge pressure. Discharge pressure or delivery pressure or condenser pressure or what? High pressure. All are the same. I am repeating again. Condenser pressure, delivery pressure, discharge pressure. All these are same. Okay? That means here what we are doing, we are increasing the condenser pressure from P2 to P2 dash. This is P2 and the dotted pressure line, this on which there is the T3 3 dash and 4 dash, it is P2 dash. Then what we are doing, we are increasing the condenser pressure from P2 to P2 dash. That is the P2 and that will be the P2 dash. Clear? The process 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is 1, 2. This is not 2 dash. This is 2. And 4 is said to be the ideal cycle. Clear? The process 1 dash, 2, 3 dash and 4 dash is said to be the, it is not 2 dash, 1 dash, 2, 3 dash and 4. Because 2, it is not 2 dash. Clear? Then this will be the 1 dash, 2, 3 dash, 4. Here 1 dash, 2, it is not 2 dash. Remember it. 1 dash, 2, 3 dash and 4. This is not 2 dash, this is 2. That means 1 dash, 2, 3 dash and 4 dash is said to be the cycle with increase in discharge pressure or delivery pressure or the condenser pressure. Clear? Due to the increase the condenser pressure or discharge pressure, what is happen? We are saying here the work input is increases from T3 H3 minus H2 to how much? H3 dash minus H2, and it will be equal to H3 dash minus H3. That means the amount of H3 dash minus H3 work done is increases. Therefore we can see here the work done is increases. Here we can see here the refrigeration effect is decreases. From therefore due to increase the suction pressure, discharge pressure, here due to increase the discharge pressure, the refrigeration effect is decreases. We can see here initially the refrigeration effect is H2 minus H1, but after the change the discharge pressure, the refrigeration effect is decreases to H2 minus H1 dash, and that will be equal to H1 minus H2. That is the amount of refrigeration effect decreases. Work required is also increases. Due to this, the COP of the system is increases. Clear? Next one is effect of superheat in the suction vapor. Suction vapor means at the inlet of the compressor. Suction means at the inlet of the compressor. That means at the inlet of the compressor the refrigerant is superheated. Here that means the point what we are doing, the 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 is what? This is the ideal cycle. We can see here 1, 2, 3 and 4, that will be the ideal cycle, and 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 and 4 is said to be the that is what this is 1 dash. Clear? That means this is 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 and 4. This is said to be the cycle with superheated suction vapor. Suction means at the inlet of the compressor. Due to this, what is happen? We can see here the refrigeration effect is due to superheated suction vapor. The refrigeration effect is increases. It is how much? It is from H1 minus H4, H1 minus H4 to H1 dash minus H4, and this will be equal to H1 minus H1 dash minus H1. Clear? The rate work input is also increases. Clear? Work input is also increases. It is also increases. We can see here that will be the H2 minus H1, and that is equal to H2 dash minus H1 dash. Clear? Refrigeration effect is increases. Work input is also increases. But we cannot decide this COP is increases or decreases. Why it is? Because both refrigeration effect as well as work input is increases, and it is depend upon the degree of superheating. It is depend upon the degree of superheating and the range of pressure. That will be the pressure of condenser and the pressure of evaporator. As the distance between PC and PE is increases, then work required is increases, and in that case the COP will decrease. That means refrigeration effect is lower increases as compared to the compression work. In that case the COP of the system is decreases. I am repeating again, once the degree of superheating is higher. If the degree of superheating is higher, in that case the compression work is more increases. Number 1. Number 2, if the range of pressure, that means the pressure difference between PC and PE, condenser pressure and evaporator, is increases, in that case the work done is also more increases with respect to the what? Refrigeration effect. In that case, clear? That is why the degree of superheating and the range of pressure between PC and PE will decide the COP is remain same, or COP is decreases, or COP is increases. Okay? Clear? I am repeating again. It may be unchanged. If the refrigeration effect, the amount of increased refrigeration effect is equal to the amount of increased work done, in that case the COP is unchanged. That means the COP is increases or decreases or unchanged. It depend upon the degree of superheating and the range of pressure between condenser pressure and evaporator pressure. Clear? And the next one is fourth, effect of subcooling. Effect of subcooling means what? Subcooling is happen at which point? Subcooling is happen only at a point 3. Okay, I am repeating again. Effect of subcooling. That means there are the 4 point, point 1, point 2 and point 3 and point 4 in VCRS. But the subcooling is possible only at a point 3, which is at the outlet of the condenser. Clear? That means the point 3 is in subcooled region. We can see here the point 3 is in the subcooled region. Then if we 1, 2, 3, 4 is said to be the ideal cycle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 is ideal cycle, we all know. But what we are changing? We are subcooled the refrigerant. That means point 3 is shifted to the 3 dash at a condenser pressure. The pressure is remain same, which is happen in the condenser, and the condenser pressure is remain same. That means the pressure at point 3 is equal to pressure at point 3 dash. Remember it. Clear? And for the due to subcooling, the throttling process with the subcooling cycle is start from the 3 dash. It is not start from the 3. Therefore, the throttling processes happen in actual cycle or in subcooled cycle is shown by the process 3 dash and 4. That means process 1, 2, 3 dash and 4 dash is basically said to be the cycle with the subcooled. Okay, due to when we are subcooled, then the compression work is remain same. The point, there are no change for the point 1 and for point 2 due to subcooling. Okay, but the heat rejection, the amount of heat rejection is increases. Therefore, we have to increase the size of condenser, so that the more the rate of heat rejection increases. Clear? But here we can see the refrigeration effect is also increases, and it will be from H1 minus H4 to H1 minus H4 dash. That means this is the amount, H4 minus H4 dash is the amount of refrigeration effect increases. Due to subcooling, what is the effect on the cycle? Work input is remain same. Okay, heat rejection in condenser is increases. Due to this, we have to increase the size of condenser. Refrigeration effect is increases. Therefore, for 1 ton of refrigeration, the mass flow rate is decreases. Clear? Clear? Therefore, the refrigerant handle capacity of the compressor is decreases. Clear? Here we can say the refrigeration effect will increases. Refrigeration effect will increases. How much? It will be equal to H4 minus H4 dash. This will be the amount of increase in refrigeration effect. Number 2, work input is remain same. Why it is? Because point 1 and point 2 does not change. Therefore, work input is remain same. That is H2 minus H1. There are no change. Therefore, we all know COP is equal to what? Refrigeration effect divided by work input. Work input is remain same. COP is increase. Refrigeration effect is increases. Therefore, the COP of the system is increases. Clear? And the last one is application of VCRS. The first application of VCRS is domestic refrigerator, which we are using domestic air conditioning. We all know commercial refrigeration, transportation refrigeration,